Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Chris Olddude, welcoming all of you to the People's Voice Cafe, what I call PVC NYC TV, because I don't have a better name. And it's my pleasure to welcome Judy Livingston, Lisa Roma, and Joel Landy with us today to help talk about the legacy and life of Peter Pasco, who is going to be remembered at the People's Voice Cafe on January 6th, 2024, Saturday night. We hope everybody will come out and see it. So thank you all for joining me tonight. It's evening. This is a first for me. I've never had 4 people at the same time individually in squares. So I feel like I'm on Hollywood Squares a little bit, but it's kind of cool. And we're going to have fun. So let's talk. Judy, I'm gonna start with you. Could you tell us a little bit about yourself and about your life with Peter and a little bit about Peter? And hold the mic close.
Okay. So yes, I'm a singer, and I met Peter in the late 1980s at the Clearwater Festival, and I had been singing and studying singing up to that point, and then we had joined together when he asked me to join him and sing with him at the old Speakeasy that some people might be familiar with. And that's how I started. I started singing in public, Thank You, Peter. And we sang together for many years. And I can tell you a little bit. Peter, I'm from Brooklyn, New York. Peter's from Tallahassee, Florida.
Oh, wow. Well, yay, Brooklyn, and Tallahassee is like a foreign country. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, sure. And I've been very influenced in my early days by Joan Baez, Joan Mitchell, Soprano. And of course, all the music, I'm dating myself, all the music of the 60s and 70s, and my love for the Beatles, and especially George Harrison and Donovan, and the songwriting, the bit of songwriting I've done, inspired by them. And then another love that I have is sound healing.
Judy, hold the mic a little closer.
Okay, sound healing. I was 15, I took a training in sound healing at the New York Focus Center, and I learned how to use instruments like singing bowls and tuning forks and all those wonderful things for healing and relaxation. So that is, and also voice is so powerful. We don't realize that no matter whether we sing or not, that we have a voice built into us that is a relaxation and a healing tool for us. So I've been very excited about. And then I also sang years with Peter at meditation meetings, inspired by a teacher who taught that. And I'm still singing at those meetings. That meeting was inspired by Hilda, that led by students. She passed in the late 80s, but there are some wonderful meetings going on now that I'm still singing at, and I've been singing holiday songs. So that's basically where I'm coming from. Any other questions? Yes, can you hear me? Yes, can you hear me now?
I can hear you, I just can't hear Chris.
Yep, something happened.
Oh, there you are.
Something happened to my microphone, I apologize.
Okay.
Judy, I'm going to switch over to Joel and Lisa for a second. I'm going to come back to you, and you'll hear the question I'm asking them. I'm going to ask you when we get to that question. So, Lisa, how do you know Peter? And tell me a little bit about yourself and your background.
Okay, well, I know Judy a long time, and I met Peter through Judy, actually. And we all go back to like the 80s or before. And I've been exposed to music as a small person. My dad always had all kinds of music playing, and influenced by the Beatles, Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Joni Mitchell, Laura Nyro, jazz, folk, whatever. And I started composing when I was 17 on the piano, and then I taught myself guitar. But yeah, I've been an artist and a poet, and all these things are the different threads of my creativity, but the music is very powerful. And yeah, and we've all sung and performed together at different times.
Well, tell me a little more about Peter. What was special for you about Peter and his work?
Oh my God, Peter was such a gentle soul, and his music was poetic and unique. And he was always encouraging others, myself included, but nobody ever wrote songs like Peter. And it's like the more you listen to his songs, the deeper it goes. Like they sound so carefree, but they're so multi-layered and meaningful, his songs. And his spirit is very powerful still.
Okay, can you give me an example of one of the songs? What it's about, and what the title is. One of the songs that particularly touched you.
Oh my God. Well, one thing that pops into my head, which is a popular song, I think is it Only Love, or I forgot the name of it.
Well, don't worry, I have a title. But
it's the one. Wait a minute. It's the one that has that starts with the music of Pachelbel's canon. And we've performed it before. Judy and I and others have performed it together, and there's harmony. I used to do like this background harmony when Judy and Peter would sing it together. And is that, Judy, what's the name of that song?
Judy, you have to unmute before you talk, because you're muted at the moment.
Yes, that's the one I love.
The One I Love. That's the name of the song. That's like a beautiful, beautiful love song that, yeah, it's like a wedding song almost, but it's beautiful. And I've always felt so honored whenever I could sing background with Judy and Peter performing that song. But he has written so many songs that are beautiful.
I saw a video on YouTube of Peter performing in 1986 with, I don't know if that was with Dwayne Bergman or if Dwayne just posted the video, and he was obviously a lot younger, and he was playing both the banjo and the harmonica, and he sounded awesome. And were either one of you the woman singing in the middle for that one? Was that another person who's not in the interview?
Okay, I can tell you, before we knew him, he was in a group called Another Country.
Right.
With Bill Ring, and the woman, if that's the one where his hair was all curly, the woman in there was Sally Eaton, and Sally was in the original version, I believe Broadway version of Hair.
Oh.
So they had a group together. So that's what that was.
Ah, okay. Well, that's a pretty interesting video. I enjoyed that. But it was also the only video I could find of Peter as a younger man. So I'm curious to know if there are any hidden archives of him on video or audio that have yet to be made public. And if so, will they be aired at any point in the future? And actually, I'm going to direct that question to Joel, because once you unmute Joel, because you have to unmute, Joel has all of this wonderful stuff going on with TV, the TV show and everything. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Joel. Tell us a little bit about your work, and tell us about how you came to know Peter and what about his work, moves you.
Okay. I've been an activist and a songwriter for a long time, and the TV show that you're referring to is called Songs of Freedom. We started in the public access stations in 1996, and we're on in 4 boroughs and continue to be. And we're on the internet every week. Singfreedom.org is the website, and we celebrate the dignity of human struggle with its many faces and its many voices. I met Peter through the New York City Friends of Clearwater, which is an organization which is a local sloop club affiliated with the National Clearwater organization, started by Pete Seeger. And things that we do are advocate for the river and sane environmental policy, but celebrating and making music is also part of the mission. This is what attracts people. This is what attracts a lot of people. You know, Don McLean was one of the original sailors on the Clearwater. These are the kind of people that the mission attracts, and Peter Pasco was one of them. So I met Peter through the local work, and I've organized a number of musical events with the New York City Friends of Clearwater, and Peter was Mr. Reliable. He was always there at our holiday party in December. He knows 1,000 songs if he knows one. And he would get to regale us, and he would always back people up. He knew everything. He knew all the songs, and he was so generous with his time. A story about Peter I like to tell is that I from money, I have been a desktop publisher. I've worked for an advertising agency, and I was in the year 2000. I was a software trainer. And in the year 2000, I was laid off, and I thought, okay, so what am I going to do? I know I'll ask Peter what he was doing at the time. Is he was working at a couple of hospitals on Roosevelt Island, and his job was to take his guitar and go from ward to ward, and be a gift to the people who are lying down or in the chair. But he knew all of the songs that they loved, like the old time songs. And so I asked him, can I follow you around? Maybe this is something I would like to do with my life. Maybe I'll take my energy and make a difference in people's lives. So I got to follow him around for an entire day, watching him be a gift that he was to so many people there. You know, and at the end of the hour, he would write up his paperwork, and I would play his song for 5 minutes to fill in the time, you know. But I got to see Peter being his spirit self, being a gift to so many people for that day, and that always stayed with me. But
Cool.
he had the grace to be with people, and he knew all the songs, and he could play anything. So. It was a gift to me to see him be who he really was in that instance.
Well, I have to say that for people like me who I think I met Peter once, and I definitely didn't know him. It's very good to hear all of this, because it sounds like we missed out. And it's good that everyone else is able to share. And Joel,
There he is.
I'm looking at the background that you have there, and it looks like Peter and Judy, right?
Yes.
Singing together.
Yes, this was at the greenhouse in Bay Ridge, Brooklyn.
Oh.
This was a Habitat for Humanity event.
I thought it was Saturday Night Live for a second.
Yeah, it kind of looks that way.
Lighting in the back.
Yeah, well, it was a holiday. It was a holiday time, and it was a very 60s, the soul of the 60s kinds of music. Judy, you remember that night? Yeah. So this is from that. So I've taken a lot of pictures that has Peter in it, but I wanted to include one with Judy doing something festive, and there it is. But you can see the peaceful look that Peter has because he is supporting the person in his life. And that's the kind of person that he was. He didn't have to have the spotlight all the time. He could support people.
That's wonderful. Judy, if you would unmute, I want to ask you the follow-up question about, the archives, so to speak.
Yes.
What else is out there that has in video land that has Peter that we don't know about yet?
Okay, well, there's a bunch of audios. Yeah, there are a bunch. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah, I found a bunch of audios. In fact, I gave some of them that they were on cassette tapes, the old-fashioned kind.
Of course.
And there's this wonderful store in Brooklyn and the guy was able to turn the cassettes into CDs. So a few of them are Peter playing at various venues. One of them, he was playing on WBAI. There was someone named Fred Kuhn or Fred Giabald who had a late night program, and he had invited Peter to sit in with him. So there are a bunch more songs of Peter's that are not on the one cassette, the one CD he made. Has a limited number of songs, but these other tapes that I found, because Peter wrote over 100 songs.
Wow, I'm jealous.
So, yes. So now we have a whole bunch of, but they're more like the basement tapes, some of them.
Peter.
So Judy, what's the name of this store where you can convert cassettes into CDs? Because that sounds like something people should know about. Since many of us are most of our work is on cassette from the 70s. And 80s.
All right, that's what it's called. Okay, I'm gonna get it exactly.
You don't have to tell me right now, but I definitely want to know, or you can put it in the chat. Let people know.
Yeah, I will get it for you immediately. And it's actually on Avenue U and East 26th Street in Brooklyn.
Oh wow, way down there. Okay.
And there's this wonderful guy, Landy, who is the owner, and and he'll do anything, and you can also buy any. He has, if you're looking for any artist, he'll get the CDs of that artist. So it's really a wonderful store.
That sounds like a connection all of us should make who are of the generation where most of our stuff came from or is stored on cassettes.
Yes, exactly. And I'm going on my phone, and I'm going to get you in about 5 minutes. I'll get you.
No problem. Now, Joel, if you would unmute, you were holding up something which we couldn't see because your background faded in and out. So what is? Oh, Peter Pasco CD copies and song lists.
This is something Judy gave me today. So she went to the cassette to the CD place, and she handed me this mysterious package today as I was coming home from school, driving home from school. So this weekend I'll take a listen.
That's a treasure. That's a treasure. We like that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Lisa, so so tell me more about in terms of what you did with Peter, and what instrument do you play? I mean, you sing, but
I sing and I play guitar.
You're a guitarist also as well. Do you also write original material?
I write my own songs. Yeah.
Okay. And did you play any of your original songs with Peter?
Absolutely. He was always very supportive. He was the one who encouraged me, and when I was feeling insecure about how I would create songs, he would say, "Oh, your chords are so amazing and unique, and they were just easy for me to play and whatever." But he was the one who introduced me to the late Bob Lepre, who was a drummer friend of his, and so that I could record my songs. And so, some of my songs are on CD, some of them still have to be recorded, so I have a couple of websites, But it was just wonderful to have Peter as a friend. He was a dear friend, and his music was awesome, and he was a very encouraging person.
So I'm just gonna delve into this for 1 second because I ask almost everybody I interview for this series these questions, and don't worry, Joel and Judy, you're going to be asked it as well. Which is, as you approach writing a song, I'm a keyboard player, I'm not a guitarist, but I have this image in my head that stereotypes all guitarists as people who start strumming some chords and then they say, oh, I can make a song out of that. And then they make a song out of it, as opposed to starting first with writing a melody and then putting chords to it. What model do you follow when you're writing a song, or are you different for every song?
It's called divine inspiration.
Okay. And how does it manifest itself?
Well, I mean, I always have, like, I used to walk around with like a tape recorder, or a lot. So sometimes songs would come to me in the shower or when I was near water, so I would always have to have a tape recorder. And then at the advent of cell phones, I would easily, do that. I would put it on my phone. But so, I will be just, walking around or admiring nature, and I'll start singing a melody or something. And, sometimes a song will just pop into my head, and it's about somebody, or it's my feelings about, somebody I love or whatever. And a few times I've gotten inspired to write songs about friends of ours who passed away, and they just kind of drop into my head. It's kind of weird.
So it sounds like actually you are not of my stereotype pattern. You don't start with chords. You start with an idea in your head more often than not, and then you move from there to the chords. Is that fair?
Right. But sometimes I'll get inspired to write some poetry that turns into song lyrics.
Sure.
And and then, like, it depends on life. Like when my son was like 11 or 13, we were at this street festival in Brooklyn, and he was on a centrifuge ride that turns around, and they had some music playing, some kind of hip hop or something, and the rhythm and the beat and the melody got into my head, and I came up with a chorus for Hold On Baby. Hold on, baby, love you, little darling now. And that was a song I wrote about my son, but it took a few years to write it, as he got older. So sometimes it's inspiration of other music, sometimes it's, lyrics, but a lot of times it's divine inspiration. Stuff pops into my brain, into my spirit. So, and sometimes it's fiddling around with chords on the guitar. That is true too. It's a variety of things. I can't hear you.
Judy, you have to unmute like I did.
Okay.
What is your process? Do you write original songs as well?
Okay, well, I'm a newer songwriter. I haven't written as many songs as Lisa and Peter, but Peter really inspired me. And I can tell you how Peter wrote songs first.
Yes, please.
Know that. And he would always say, well, when I'm going to write a song, he would kind of feel like a song is coming. He said, I would lay down on my bed and take plenty of time and just strum the guitar, and then the song would come. But then he had a few songs, like the song Autumn, that some songs that just like came in a dream that he woke up with, and then years later he would be writing the song. So, as far as me, the few songs that I wrote, I have a list of different chord progressions. So I found just sitting back and just strumming the chord progressions, and then I would sing along as I'm strumming, and so the words would be coming through my voice along with the chord progression. So that's how.
So you start mostly with the chords, and then get to a melody sound, then get to words last. Is that fair?
Yeah, the words are coming out. Like I don't, the words like come, I sing them. I sing the words
Okay,
and the
I
words
see.
come as I'm singing.
So the
Words
words
and
come
melody
with
come
the
as I'm
melody.
singing.
Gotcha. Very cool. How about you, Joel? How does that
Well,
process
there
work for you?
there are different things. I write original songs, and I also write a lot of parodies. So the parodies, the tune is already there, and all it
That's
takes
true.
is a phrase to be said 2 nights ago, just to give you an example. My wife was attending a Secret Santa meeting. Or like Secret Santa Man, there's a gift that's coming from a stranger.
Secrets.
You don't know who it is, so there's a danger. And you don't dare admit you won't like it a bit. Right? It's like chances are it's in your trash tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Secret
It's
Santa
Santa.
Man.
So some songs just come and I got to do it. My wife tells me there isn't a song you won't ruin. That's right. There isn't a song I won't ruin. Right. Right. Listen to parents as you lay in your bed and you pull on the covers up over your head. She is loud, but she ain't misbehaving. Drag yourself to a room though you're feeling half dead because her diapers need changing.
Yeah, I see. So, but the art of parody, it's much harder to do parodies of a lot of the songs today than it is to do the classic melodies of the 60s.
Oh, I don't know. I just wrote one like, you're familiar with Tom Petty's You're So Bad?
Yeah, but that's not a song of the 2000s or the mid.
No, that's something that's recent.
Relatively recent.
Yeah, but it just comes up for me, and I got it. It doesn't. I don't get in your way, Joel. Just write it down.
Just write it down.
Related. But I do write a lot of original songs too, and I could be watching television and something stupid happens.
Ah, yes, stupid.
So like there's stupid going on. Oh, that sounds like the name of a song, Mark,
that's one of your good ones. I do like that song a lot. I like that song a lot.
Yeah. So something needs to be said, and there are times where I want to say this. For instance, have your grief tonight. You'll know when it is over. Trust you'll be all right. Your heart knows where to go. So like I don't want anything energetic. I want something melodic and quiet. So how do I want to say this? Some of the artists that I admire most are people like Billy Joel, who could write for any style. He could sound like Paul McCartney if he wants to. He could sound like the Ronettes if he wants to. When he has something to say, and that's the best place to go with this song. So I try to be open for that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's definitely that's a talent and it's a burden. But it's one of those things that makes you go, wow, that person is special with their songwriting. No question.
Yeah. People could write for any style, and you look at the people who write for the stage, Or I've always admired like improvisational comedy people, or people who have to do like in the old TV days where it was live and they had to come up with something every week, and that includes the musicians too. We need a song. We need an opening number. We have 2 hours. Can you do it, kid? It's like
right.
Sometimes I give myself an assignment, and okay, I'm going to write a song about
the deadline.
Yeah. Like the Secret Santa Man. It's like she's in that meeting. I want to be able to go over there and like play it for them in half an hour. Go.
Gotcha.
And I was able to do that.
Cool. Lisa, let me ask you this. Unmute and Judy as well. I saw a video. I saw a video of Peter performing at People's Voice Cafe with some stringed instruments. It seemed like it was a group, an ensemble performance. Were you guys part of that performance? Were you present for that performance?
Sure. I don't remember that.
I don't.
You don't remember that? Oh, okay. So I was going to ask for some insights because there's only one song that was covered, and it was I think it was the encore number that I saw on YouTube. But did Peter play with? I mean, I know he played with groups like Clearwater and stuff like that. But when he wrote and stuff, did he arrange music for larger groups of instruments and singers, or did he basically write a song and then other people took it and made arrangements of it?
Well, he would,
Judy or Lisa, either one.
he wouldn't be playing with large groups, but he would, if he was playing with a group, that was probably with other performers at the People's Voice, and he just had the gift of whoever he was playing with. He could never have met them in his life, and he could accompany anybody like that just right on the moment.
Right.
So that's probably what you were seeing then. But he also played a few instruments. He was able to, like Bob Dylan, he was able to play his harmonica and his guitar and sing all at once. And he also played the banjo, the recorder, so he played a number of different instruments.
I'm a recorder player. Yay, recorder.
He also played the piano.
Yeah, of course, the piano, and he would play the piano totally by ear, and he loved to just sit at the piano and play one song after the other. And he would do that. There was actually a place in the village, I forgot what the name of the place, but there was a restaurant, and they would hire him to sit there and play as people were eating. So it was he played very, very much by ear.
Right. That's the most fun, in my opinion, playing by ear.
Yeah.
So tell me more, somebody, about Peter's social justice passions. Obviously, we know that he was involved with he was concerned about the environment. Were there other issues that moved him, and what were some of the things that he got involved in, from an organizational standpoint? Who would like to go first?
I just met him through the Clearwater, and that was the environmental business was very dear to him. He had the earth was the mother, and he respected the mother, basically. That's how I knew him.
Makes sense. Anything else, Judy or Lisa?
Mother's Kitchen, and Judy could tell you more about Mother's Kitchen with Peter playing, and yeah.
Yes, well, he was when he came to New York, he became very much into meditations and spirituality, and there was this wonderful person from India. I don't know if you've heard of Amati or Amma, and they called her they would always cover her. She would come every year from India, and they called her the Hugging Saint. And she would come, and sometimes she would be at the Java Center or Columbia University, and for like 3 days, she would just be hugging people and blessing people, and it didn't matter what background. She didn't care what background you were, and people would come, they would just be drawn every July when she would come, we would just all be drawn, people from all walks of life, to come and get a hug, because people really need hugs. And she wouldn't charge money, but people would give donations, and so she would have all of these different wonderful things that she would do. And one of them was called Mother's Kitchen on the Upper West Side. It was a soup kitchen where once a month there would be people would volunteer to serve food, and she would have music there. And Peter, no matter what the weather was, rain or shine, Peter would travel from southern Brooklyn all the way to uptown of Manhattan, like the postman, rain or shine,
right.
and sing and play at those meetings. And then he also just loved to play the piano there. Like at the end of his set, he would just go on and play the piano. So that was something
very cool,
very important to him. And then there were all kinds of other places that would find out that he would give a donation to this one or that one. And there was one, it was the Southern Poverty Organization.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Yeah, he
Southern
always,
Poverty Law Center?
yes, he always contributed to that. So all of these different organizations would, would get in touch with him. So he was concerned about the butterflies and bees and, all the different animals. And he was, since he was born in Tallahassee, Florida, and since he was, older than a lot of us, he was around, during
During the bad times.
In the South. But his family, he had a wonderful family that was very loving and open to everyone. And so, that was always very important to him.
Was Peter always doing just music, or did he have an alternate profession of some sort?
Yes, okay. Peter, he came from a very educated family. His mother taught English and Latin. His father was a lawyer, and then he became a florist. So Peter has this wonderful song called Plant Man. Peter loved plants. Plants were like his children. He just adored plants. But he also had studied philosophy. He was going to be going for I think a PhD in philosophy, but he got his master's in English. So I found a whole bunch of his poetry from his college days, and which I'm planning to have somebody read at least one or two of his old poems at this event. So he was very, very, very literary and very, very specific. Everything had to be just right. If you wrote anything down for Peter about anything, he would be marking your English. That should be very clear.
Editing your word.
Yeah, he would be marking your English and saying, "Oh no, this person, they didn't put a comma here. They didn't." So he was, and he had also written a novel. I think for his master's in English, he had to write a novel. So that was before he came to New York. When he came to New York, I found out on one of the cassette tapes that became a CD, he actually said exactly when he came to New York, and it was 1978, but he had also lived in San Francisco and other places, and he had also gone to school at the University of Rochester, besides the schools in Florida.
So was he a teacher?
He had been like an adjunct. He was an adjunct for a while.
Okay.
Yeah, when he was studying.
I want to ask all of you this, and you don't have to respond now.
Yeah.
I'm also a songwriter. I hate writing lyrics with a passion. So if anybody has any poetry or lyric scraps that you haven't done anything with, in terms of writing a melody, you want someone to take a look, to play with it, feel free to send it to me. I'm into getting inspiration from other people, because I hate writing lyrics. I really do. So it's nice to hear that people have poetry out there that hasn't been turned into songs yet.
I have a lot of that.
Oh, cool. All right. Well, we'll definitely keep talking
connect.
about
Yeah.
So listen, let me ask you guys. Tell me some stuff that I haven't asked you about yet that you think we should know about Peter. Particularly if folks watch this who don't know Peter, what are they going to learn, or what are they going to experience about Peter at this wonderful concert? Just give us a little teaser there. Anybody?
Well, if the first event we did is the same as gives us an indication as to what's going to happen on January 6th, you had a lot of people coming, and it was a big heartfelt session, a very sweet vibe with fond memories, a very warm, inviting environment. And music was a way of expressing what we were feeling in our hearts. Is that
It was like a big hug.
Yeah, it was like a big hug. You know,
That event, yeah. It was like a big hug, and, you know, we were all hugging Peter with our spirits because, you know, his way of being was so loving and kind and compassionate. He was not judgmental, and he always cared about everybody, and he made such an impression on so many people's lives from all walks of life. He was connected to different organizations and different circles of people and friends. And so, you know, we have our own circle of friends, you know, with Peter and Judy and everybody else and Joel, and interconnectedness, you know, and then the other groups. It's like, it was like a love fest, you know, and his music was so diverse. His songs were so diverse, and just his spirit touched people, his caring and his songs touched people. So, you know, this tribute is like a refined version of the memorial we did at Church of the Village. So, you know, we're all looking forward to doing this. You know, we also performed a couple of pieces of music with different artists that influenced Peter, but we also tried to do songs that he wrote, and his songs were, you know, he was an amazing musician. So, you know, it takes a lot of practice to learn a Peter song on the guitar, even though you might know the melody and you might be able to harmonize. But yeah.
Right. It's one thing to sing it without having to perform. It's another thing to like, oh, I gotta do this justice.
Yeah, you need really adept musicians to be able to play Peter's songs, because they were more complex than, you know, they might sound. But still, and he was an amazing finger-picking artist, you know, guitarist also.
Cool. Judy, would you like to add anything?
Yeah, I'm agreeing with Lisa. Like, his songs were so very diverse. And I always think of Peter as going in the tradition of a lot of the British artists like Eric Clapton, the Beatles, who were influenced. He was a great lover of Buddy Holly. Buddy Holly really influenced Buddy Holly, Pete Seeger.
He also liked the Grateful Dead too.
Grateful Dead. He loved the Grateful Dead. He loved Donovan. We met Donovan a number of times. He actually got to say hi to Donovan. Cool. And then there's a John Lennon story. There's a Peter John Lennon story. I don't know if anyone ever heard this story. How Peter almost got beat up by John Lennon.
Oh my God.
Oh wait. You got to save that for the event. Don't tell us that here.
Okay.
You got to tell that story at the event. I want everybody watching this to say, "Oh, I got to go to the event so I can hear the John Lennon story."
Okay. All right. Okay.
That's a good promo. Yeah.
Right. You got to give people something.
All you need is what?
Right.
Well,
yes.
Just give peace a chance. Okay, John Lennon almost beat me up. There's a story. I love it.
Was he doing a Nixon impression at the time?
I'll tell you after.
Right.
Okay. Let's not ruin it for everybody.
Not on camera. Not on camera. Anything else you guys want to add? This has been great.
Well, I'll just say if we were talking about where we can, if you mentioned that if we wanted to, so I just want to say singfreedom.org is the Songs of Freedom website. You could also catch me at Joel Landy Music at YouTube. And you can look me up on YouTube. Facebook, I'm there. I post every day. But I'm really looking forward to tearing into this, and what Judy gave me today, the cassettes turned into CDs. This is like a Christmas present. I don't know what's in here, but I'm sure it's going to be good.
It's a stuffed stocking. I love it.
Yeah, this is like, well, an office. I'll just hang this until Christmas Day.
So Lisa, where do we find you, and how can we hear your stuff?
Oh, okay. I'm on SoundCloud.com slash Electric Goddess and then space Lisa Roma. So you can probably find me Electric Goddess with a K at the end. Electric with a K at the end, Goddess. It's all one word. Or Lisa Roma, and also on Reverb Nation. I haven't launched my my Bandcamp yet, But anyway, I was gonna say that one of the things that I told Judy and Joel that I wanted to do for Peter was, besides helping, all of us helping to preserve his music legacy, is to put a book together about people's stories about him and about his life and just memories, with photos. So we want to collect that, if there's anybody who has a story, a synopsis or anything that they want to tell, and they could submit it to myself or Judy or Joel and I. And, to gather these stories and put them together, because I do book design and editing freelance, and I wanted to, this is one of the gifts that I wanted to give back, because Peter and Judy have been very good to me.
That's very
times of need, and I love them dearly.
That's a wonderful idea, a very unique idea, a wonderful idea, and you can also include lyrics, the songs we have yet to hear type thing.
Well, yeah, definitely, and to publish his songs in a songbook, and help record, and design CDs, whatever. But one of the things that we talked about also was, I said I would help to put together some, online digital Peter, songbook kind of things, like, to upload his songs, where they're become accessible. Maybe people could buy them, but it has to be just, Judy's in charge of that, and, between the three of us.
Cool. I'm going to give Judy the last word here in terms of things you want to say. Go ahead, Judy.
Okay, so we will have a few of Peter's formal CD that he actually put together himself, and along with Bob Dupree and other musicians. So that will be, but there are just a few copies, so people will be able to order at the event, and we'll also have a list of the songs that are on the basement tape type CDs. So if people want to hear a whole bunch of his other songs that are not on his formal CD, and because Peter would love his legacy to continue by having musician friends learn his songs.
Sure. Judy, let me make a suggestion that you may or may not find helpful. All those songs that were converted to CD, if you can have the same person or someone else create MP3s of the songs, and then you have on Peter's website, if he has one, if he doesn't create one, if you have those songs available for download individually, even though the quality, I don't know what the quality is of the recordings, but even if the quality is questionable, the bottom line is people will download songs. You can either make them available for free, or you can even charge 25 cents, instead of $1 or whatever. And that gives them a permanent home, because unfortunately, like it or not, and I don't like it, but unfortunately, most people aren't playing CDs anymore. And so it's good to have CDs available for those of us who still play them, but downloading, MP3 files are what's out there. And I think that keeping that legacy alive technologically is something that you definitely can do. And one of the great advantages is that, and I'm finding this with my website as well, is that you can write all kinds of stuff with that download. People can learn the entire story of every song. They can get the lyrics. Everything is there, and then they can download it, and they have the tools they need to make the, to take that song to the next level for themselves and for other people. So that's my general suggestion.
That's a great idea. Agreed. And shall I give a plug for the compact disc shop?
Please give a plug.
Okay.
We're all about plugs.
Okay. The man's name, his name is Landy, and he's the owner of it's called the Compact Disc, SHOPPE.
Oh, the Compact Disc Shoppy.
Shoppy, yes. And it's at 2601 Avenue U in Brooklyn.
Okay.
And the direct phone number is 718-648-5882. And he has, he can take your cassettes and turn them into CDs, and maybe we can find out if he can.
He can do MP3s as well, right?
MP3s, and then also he has, if there are any artists that you are looking for and you can't find, he'll get them for you. So it's a really cool little store.
Well, that's wonderful that he's been of such great assistance to you, and I think for artists of our generation and before our generation, he sounds like an invaluable resource. So if he gets some business out of this, that is not a bad thing.
Right. Great.
All right, guys, listen, we got to go. I'm looking forward to seeing and hearing all of you on January 6th, which is 1 week into the new year. We only have a couple of weeks to get people to come, so make sure you're telling all your networks and all your friends, everybody who came to the first event, get them to come back to the next event. And I look forward to hearing everything live and in person, and we'll take it from there.
Are you going to be there in person?
I will be there in person.
Good. Oh, good. Okay.
Definitely.
Will it also be available online for people who are not able to come?
The show will be live streamed.
So people can buy it live streamed.
You all gave permission. Yes. So the bottom line is the People's Voice Cafe live streams all its shows unless an artist says they don't want it to be live streamed. And occasionally there are artists, for whatever reason, who say they either can't or don't want it live streamed, and we understand that. But you've said yes, so it will be live streamed. I'm performing the week after you. Mine will be live streamed. So it's very handy because you never know what the weather's going to be like. It's January, right? So if there's a big snowstorm, we can still do the show and people can still watch it. They just may not be as many people in person, but we want to have people there in person. So let's get the hardy souls out there. So.
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, listen. For People's Voice Cafe, for PVC NYC TV, it's been a pleasure. And please enjoy the rest of the holidays, which at this point is Christmas, Kwanzaa, and New Year. I'm sure there's some other ones in there I'm overlooking. Oh, Three Kings Day, which is actually the day of the concert.
And that's also my birthday.
It is the day of the concert. It's the last day of the 12 days of Christmas.
That's right.
And it's also a day that should live in infamy in the United States, but we're going to turn that around.
We are not even talking about that.
And it's also my birthday.
Oh, and it's your birthday. That's much better. Right.
It's a great way to celebrate my birthday with my friends and honoring Peter's music and meeting new people.
Well, we will call it Partridge in a Pear Tree Day, and we'll give Lisa a partridge in a pear tree for her birthday.
Oh, that's so sweet.
All right, guys.
All right. Nice to meet you. Love you guys.
Yeah,
take care.
Great night. Happy holidays.
Thank you so much for doing this.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Good night.
Bye.